My topic is GMO foods should be banned from supermarkets. I believe that bioengineered and GMO foods should be banned from supermarkets, including meat that's processed from livestock that's fed GMO-based feed. These are living organisms that have had their genetics artificially manipulated in a lab through genetic engineering that could not have occurred in nature or through natural crossbreeding methods. By allowing GMO and bioengineered foods to be sold and fed to our livestock, we're supporting corporate food control and allowing companies like Bayer, which is now merged with Monistat, to poison our soil and trap our farmers into buying their seeds and pesticides. I'm very passionate about supporting local farmers. Feeding my family healthy is important to me, and I've researched how to grow your own food in ways that preserve biodiversity, and I teach my children the benefits of being self-sustainable. GMO seeds are said to improve yields, but that's not true. That's just a marketing scheme that they use. They are, however, able to survive blasts of herbicides that include glyphosate, which is a chemical found in Roundup. We should support our local farmers in biodiversity in nature and stop supporting food control that is making GMO seed companies richer and harming our environment. My main points in this are that by banning GMO products, we can stop the increase in cancer cases, improve our environment and save our insects and soil, and stop the monopoly over food control, which we've allowed to happen. By banning GMO products in supermarkets, we can stop the increase in cancer. The New York Times has an article titled "Roundup Maker to Pay $10 billion to Settle Cancer Suits" that talks about how Roundup had to pay, the maker of Roundup had to pay over $10 billion to settle lawsuits to customers who proved that their product was the cause of their cancer. But yet this company continues to sell their product without warning labels for safety. GMO seeds are tolerant to herbicides, which has increased its use in agricultural farming, and that's been the cause of cancer increases. Farmers and homeowners that spray herbicides on crops have an increased risk of developing non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and other health risks. Bayer and Monistat are both companies that made chemicals during the war. As stated in psych.org, Bayer was the maker of the gas used in Hitler's gas chambers, and it also states that in the 1940s, Monistat was the producer of a chemical herbicide 2,4-D, which combined with other chemicals made Agent Orange. These companies, in my opinion, are just after profit and have questionable ethics. They conduct their tests at universities and choose what they want to share out of their research. Whole Foods magazine shared an article that covered a lawsuit against Monistat in 2019 where a judge awarded a couple $2 billion because this couple was able to prove that Roundup caused their non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Now that I've told you how GMO seeds have increased the use of herbicides, I'd like to tell you about how that has had an effect on our farming land. Biotech companies use the distribution of GMO seeds to increase their herbicide sales and control our food supply, with the top seller being Bayer and Monistat. They are monopolizing the agricultural industry. They started their seed trials in the 1980s and engineered their crops to be tolerant for Roundup. Monistat and Bayer were the largest producers of GMO seeds and chemicals in the world, and they have over a quarter of all sales worldwide. This information was found at greenamerica.org. They've also forbidden research for private research done on their seeds. This is to control what we know about their seeds. They like to pick and choose what we get to know about them. When our farmers use these seeds and spray these poisons, it makes it harder for them to return to organic farming and leaves them stuck paying high prices that increase each year for seeds and chemicals. Finally, I'd like to talk about ways that we can farm responsibly and care for biodiversity in our environment. Focusing on farming to care, we can stop the monopoly over food control that we've sheepishly allowed to happen. Once herbicides are sprayed, they kill healthy bacteria in soils, which we need to keep a healthy ecosystem. There are natural ways to garden, and we should focus on these ways and stop filling the pockets of companies that give us cancerous poisons to spray. A good example of this is the York tribe in California has placed a ban on GMO crops, and they will not allow them to contaminate their land and water supply, which they rely on for food, water, and medicine. For more information on this, you can check out cornupia.org. We should follow their example and continue to provide healthy biodiversity that will last decades to come. In conclusion, it would be best for our health and our environment if GMO seeds were banned from supermarkets. We can still grow seeds like heirloom seeds, which are passed down from generation to generation and have not been altered in any types of labs. By doing so, we would stop the increase of cancer cases, we would live healthier lives and have a healthier ecosystem, and we would be able to start a stop on corporate food control, which is real and is a problem for us and our farmers. They're the reason for the constant increase in food prices, and I encourage you to do your research and support local farmers and be mindful of our environment.